Welcome to episode 20, the last episode of season 1 of Biker Talk. I really hope you've enjoyed the story so far. If you have, help the channel by giving us a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We have plenty more coming up, which I'll tell you about at the end of this video. This week's episode features Chris and his custom Ducati 1000 Super Sport.
My name's Chris. I've been riding for about 30 years now. I just sort of started in my late teens. I guess I did sort of perhaps idolise people who rode motorcycles, like I'd followed motorcycle racing. But yeah, it was just, for me it just made sense as a mode of transport at the time. A 2003 Ducati 1000 Super Sport, which has been customised to redo the electrics completely and new bodywork as well. I love it because it has the look that I want and the performance that I want, but it doesn't have the typical issues that you get with a bike of that year. So, you know, for me it's the best of both worlds. It's having a bike that has a classic look but doesn't have the classic issues. I was quite heavily involved. It was reasonably remote. He's based down south coast, so you know, I wasn't able to sort of observe the builds at every stage, but I was definitely well involved in terms of sourcing parts and going for different options in terms of indicators, lights, all of that sort of stuff. Most of the basic build he did himself. I was involved in configuring the tailpiece and, you know, putting on fairing and stuff like that. The instrument assembly has completely been changed. The headlight's new, and it's had a bikini fairing on it. It's been completely rewired with the motogadget M unit. So the indicators are also motogadget, also the mirrors as well, the bar and mirrors. It's also got a different fuel tank on it from a different era, say 90s SS fuel tank, which we did have some issues with in terms of fitting it to the frame. It was leaking for a bit, so the tail end was cut, the subframe was cut and remodified to fit a new tailpiece. Brakes are all standard. Suspension got the shocks did get re-sprung. I've got a different clutch cover on it, so you can, you know, it exposes the valves and the clutch. I've always wanted a Ducati 748, like that was a bike that I rode many years ago, which made me want to get a Ducati. I just can't really justify riding it on the road. It'd have to be a track bike sort of thing. Probably Italy and Spain. I lived in Spain for a while as well, and I really wish I had a motorbike when I was there. But yeah, just that sort of, you know, the Mediterranean coastline, that sort of thing. I think that would be great. I guess I just love the freedom and the feeling. Particularly, I like the idea of being able to just isolate and feel like I'm, you know, at one with the machine. It makes me feel alive and exhilarated. For me, it's almost a meditative process. I've been riding for so long now that I'm, you know, hyper aware of everything that's going on around me. But at the same time, I find that it gives you that, you know, that sort of focus, that you're focused on the road and where it's going and everything around you, that I think is really beneficial for other life pursuits, in driving a car or interacting with other people, being observant in general. It's a great attribute to have.
We're going to have a break from our regular Biker Talk stories for about 2 weeks, mostly so we can catch up on some editing. But we'll be still putting out content in that time. A couple of quick talk videos and another bike review, this time on the Royal Enfield Interceptor. I've been speaking to a couple of bike manufacturers about getting some more press bikes, and I'm planning on shooting some more reviews in the next couple of months. If there's a bike that you'd like to see reviewed on the channel, please let me know in the comments below. In Season 2, we have some great stories that are currently being edited. Another one with Dave, this time a little bit more about his Manx Norton and its history. We have a woman who is one of a kind, Chris Keeble from the Aussie and the Indian, and we have road test editor for Cycle News in the US and Pikes Peak International Hill Climb champion and current record holder Rennie Skaysbrook. We might even have a couple of videos about the team here at Biker Talk, me and my daily ride, my BMW R6 cafe racer, and co-producer and editor of the channel Tegan and her cracking little Yamaha MT-07. If you have a story to tell, get in touch, as we're always looking for new content to film with great people and cool bikes. For now, stay safe and remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can ride a motorcycle, and that's kind of the same thing.